guys today in Mallorca Insiders, which is the best, most important bit about Mallorca now, because we're just like giving so much cool information. I have got the queen of numbers, the queen of admin,
queen of paperwork,
my friend, Becky Bellafont Evans, in the studio with me. I'm so happy to have you here. I know it's a big commute for you. It's a long way to travel.
Just across the road. I can see you from my window.
Our girl is literally across the road from us here in Song Bugadeas in Santa Ponza, and it is a real pleasure to have you with us again.
Thank you for counting me in.
I love seeing your face. Okay, let's start with who the hell are you? Because I've known you for a really long time, but the story of Mallorca Solutions and what you do for the international community here in Mallorca, it goes back quite a long way, doesn't it?
It does a little bit. 2008,
wow.
I started the business, and it wasn't my idea. It was actually my mother's idea.
Love her.
Good old Jackie. Evans, yes. She was working at the town hall. At the immigration department, helping all the expats, and they'd go up and see her and ask for help, and she'd help filling out forms and giving instructions on what to do. And of course she just said, Becky, you know what, I wish we could help people that need more, not just directing them, because the look of horror on their face when you're like, okay, this is what you've got to do, this is where you've got to go, this is where you've got to book your appointment, this is where you need to pay the fees. They need someone that can assist them in their own language.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, that's a great idea. I'd been working in tourism for many years, cruise ships, working in Mexico, ski resorts, and then decided to settle down. And my mum said, why don't you do that? So anyway, had done some admin, like a college degree on administration, on official administration. Then I did a course on insurance brokerage, or courses, many hours. And I thought, you know what, let's go for it. So I set it up, and initially I started solo. My mum then left the council, came and joined me for a season, then she retired. But yeah, it was very good because between us, she had lots of contacts, and obviously I only had just started in the world here. And that was how Mallorca Solutions started.
Were you born here?
No.
Where were you born?
So I was born in England. Mum was pregnant, lied to the airline, said she was 6.5 months pregnant. Typical thing my mum would do because she wanted to have me in England.
Your mum was something else.
She said, why would you go? What was the difference? Like my dad's Spanish.
Yeah.
So why would you go back to England to have me? And she's like, well, you'll have your British passport. I said, yeah, but I'd have my British passport through you anyway. She said, yeah, but the day that you want kids, if they don't go back to England, they won't have their British passport. So she decided to go back to England to have me there specifically for that. And my kids now, thanks to Jackie, thanks to my mum, have got their British passport as well.
Have they got Spanish
born
passports
here.
As well?
Yeah, and Brazilian. Father's side.
You can never have too many.
Never too many. We obviously use the Spanish and the British one most, but yeah.
Because you've helped us a lot as a family with all kinds of things. Like you've helped us transfer ownership of cars. You took a French car that my mum gave me and made it a Spanish car. Boy, that was a performance.
A bit of a journey with that
it took a while.
Yeah.
You've got Gigi her Spanish citizenship. You've done loads of stuff for us over the years.
I think it's been reciprocal. We kind of always helped each other, haven't we?
Yeah,
I've come and done photo shoots. I've helped you with paperwork. Yeah. We kind of hang in there, don't we, girl?
We're just like big fans of each other.
Yes.
But the Mallorca Solutions really kind of hit a groove, didn't it? Because it was like really needed in what it's doing. And I'd say that you're probably the best known business on the island for that.
I like to think so. Obviously, there's a lot of talented people out there as well doing what we do. Obviously, there's many people in any sector really that do it. I think at least what makes us different, or what I'd like to think that makes us different, I'm very big on customer service. I used to work for the old Thompson Holidays, which is part of the TUI group. And I got some of the best training there. I was a customer service manager, and I loved it. And I do think that that's what's lacking here in Spain in general, the customer service side of things. I know it's all mañana, tomorrow. And we find it quite difficult to have to deliver on deadlines when we're really the middleman, because between the client and the government offices stands Mallorca Solutions. So, what I wanted us to be different would be on the customer service, and that's what I'd like to think that clients do find us different because of that. I have high expectations of customer service myself, and that's what I would like my staff to deliver, and they do. I have an amazing team. different nationalities as well. We all speak English and Spanish, which makes it much easier. And then obviously we get out and about. We know the government departments. We know the people there. So we know who to go to try and get the information. Like I was saying to you before, you know, they've removed information sheets from the actual official website for Brits now that wanting to change their TIEs, which that's another story which we'll go on. But it's frustrating because you as a person that wants to may want to do that service, you can't get your hands on that, you know. And the same thing happens to us, but we've got our little ways of getting around it. But
Spain's trying to digitalise itself more and more. You know, like like yesterday in Andratx, the mayor was announcing a new way to declare property and transferring the name of the property holder. And that was like a big deal, yeah? Like, that made the news.
Of course, yeah, it's all paperwork and filing and all bureaucracy, isn't it?
Because it's like that whole thing about the stereotype of moving to Mallorca, or any part of Spain, I guess, but I mean, I only ever did it to Mallorca. It's that you have to, like, dedicate so much time to actually getting this bit of paper, getting that bit of paper, getting like, and everywhere you go to
an
every
appointment.
meeting, yeah,
just an appointment,
and then you have to pay a tax before you can do that. But actually, you don't know about the tax until you're at the appointment. So now you need another appointment to pay the tax. You know, it's like a constant.
It's a battle.
Yeah, it's really, and it's very confusing and frustrating and difficult. And I think for especially English-speaking people that don't necessarily understand that much Castellano or Catalan when they get here, it can be really humiliating as well. You know, and people can give up.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, like you say, the language sometimes can be a slight impediment when you're trying to do these things. But I mean, we have clients that speak the language but just don't want the hassle. You know, so we've got other clients that don't speak the language, like, you know, can you help us? But others like, I don't even want to get involved. I don't have the time, the energy, nor do I want to be sent from pillar to post. So yeah, that's the beauty of Mallorca Solutions. We can do it for you. Most of the services we do for the client. They don't have to be present, with the exception of residency, which you have to be present for at immigration, at least at some of the stages.
What are the differences between being, for example, being British and how you'd be registered in Britain and being here in Spain? I mean, like in Britain, I know it's the national insurance number, but here it's a bit different, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And you know what? This is the topic. This topic, I think, never goes out of fashion because there's so many people that don't know the differences between one document and the other. Everybody calls it a residency if you're living here, where it might be an NIE. So if you give me a few minutes, I'll give you an explanation.
I'm ready. I might need to take notes and ask questions.
That's fine. Fire away. I think you know this one.
What does
Vicky.
NIE stand for?
Okay, so it's Número Identificación Extranjero. So it's identification number for expats. Okay, so initially when you come to live out here, you need to do any type of transactions, fiscal transactions, buying a house, buying a car, you want to set up with your utility bills, they're going to ask you for an ID number. And your ID number as an expat here is your NIE number. Okay, Now the NIE number is purely a number. It has no fiscal implications and it does not make you a resident. How to distinguish it from a residency, it's an A4 white piece of paper, and it's purely for transactions, fiscal transactions, and you need it as ID. Okay, so people that are second homeowners don't need to have residency because they're not here long term. They just need an NIE number to be able to do transactions, like purchase a property, like I said, going to pay your taxes, your annual council taxes, because you have to pay them whether you're a second homeowner or resident here. And then you have residency. Anybody that's here for more than 90 days, normally they put the time frame to 6 months because that's when they know they're going to be here longer. But if you know that you're going to be here for more than 90 days and spend all year round in Spain, then you need to become a resident. Your NIE number, i.e. that A4 white piece of paper, won't class you as a resident. So you would need to apply for residency. If you're European, you would then apply and you would get a green paper card. There's no photo ID on that.
It's still paper.
It's still paper.
Come on, people.
And the reason why it's laminated on one side, but the other side is paper. It's like a little Visa card, but in a paper format, and it's green. Reason why it's got no photo ID is because EU citizens have their own ID card from their country. So therefore they haven't put photo ID. It's just a document to state that you are a resident in Spain. Brits we then have the TIE cards. They do have photo ID.
What does TIE stand for?
Tarjeta Identificación Extranjero.
Okay, so we got a number, which is the NIE, and then tarjeta, which
and
is the
tarjeta,
card.
which makes you a resident.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the difference, obviously, is that does make you resident. And we had a lot of issues when Brexit happened, and everybody had to then suddenly change their residency over, their green little card, to a TIE card. Mm-hmm. A lot of them thought they were residents and they only had that NIE A4 white piece of paper.
Oh.
So therefore they lost the right to actually exchange from one to another.
See,
because
they didn't
were
have
no
you as a
residents.
friend. That's the problem.
Exactly. They didn't know the difference between an NIE and residency. And you know what? You'll actually go to government departments and they will actually say, have you got your NIE? And they actually class an NIE as residency. So when they're asking you for the NIE and you give them the A4 piece of paper, they're fine with that. But then if you give them the green card or the TIE, they're fine with that as well. They just call everything a NIE. So it makes it even more confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you've got the TIE card, which is what you've got.
Yes.
Yes. That's got photo ID, which is quite handy. You can have it in your purse. You don't have to carry your passport
I'm really
around.
worried about those sorts of things, though, because losing them is a real pain to replace them, isn't it?
To be honest, when you're doing a change on a document, like a change of address, or you've got to ask for a duplicate, it's more or less the same process. Obviously, to ask for a duplicate, it's a little bit more straightforward. It's just 2 stages out of 3. If you have to change the address, there's the 3 stages out of 3, like an initial application. So, yeah, I can understand why you worry. When people say that to me, the advice that I give is, okay, if you don't want to carry your original, then go to the notary, do a notarised copy of that TIE card or the document, i.e. your passport, and for anything between €5 and €8, they will give you a legal stamped copy, which you can carry with you and don't have to carry the original. But I would say it fits in your wallet, in your purse, take it with you. But I've got another tip for you.
Yeah.
Because you told me the other day you got stopped by the police, didn't you?
I did.
Well, then, what happened?
Well, like I said, I don't like carrying my TIE. Also, don't carry my driving licence. Don't carry my passport. Don't carry any form of ID.
Great, you're ticking all the boxes, Vicki.
Don't carry anything because I just worry about losing them. I mean, I don't think I've ever lost a purse. But there's always going to be that moment when I do. And I'd rather lose it in my house than not in the rest of the world, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't carry them outside unless I have to. And I got stopped by the cops the other day because of my car, because it was due its ITV. And the sticker is the wrong colour because it was green. It's now yellow.
Oh, did you have to go and pass the ITV?
She's passed. She passed yesterday. But, like, because it was within the month of the renewal, they were like, well, you have to prove to me that you've applied for the application for the ITV test. ITV means MOT if you're British. Yeah. And I was like absolutely really panicking because I was stood on the side of the road with this very dry, unhumorous policeman who wasn't having any of my crap, you know what I mean? And I had to be really oh, señor, un momento, por favor, looking for all the emails on my phone to prove I had the ID.
ITV booked,
and he's like, where's your driving licence? I'm like, I was just really, really flapping, and then I managed to kind of distract him with the fact that I could prove. I got Bertie.
We got Bertie in the house as well.
Bert's come to Bertie. Shh. Anyway, and he's the policeman was. I managed to distract him from the fact that I didn't have a driving licence by going, Tango! And I was pointing at the email, I've got it, I've got it.
The MOT appointment.
And because he was literally writing me out a ticket because I hadn't been able to prove that my car was having an ITV test. And I was absolutely got away with that by the skin of my teeth.
You were actually lucky because I always thought, because that's what they kind of said at the MOT station, that if your MOT expires, as long as you've got proof that you've got an appointment booked, because the appointments are so far down the road.
Yeah, they are late.
Down the line. As long as you've got proof, then it's okay, but apparently not.
Yeah, I've heard both.
Yeah, apparently we're meant to in advance, know when our appointment or when our MOT is expiring and book the appointments prior.
Yeah, he did say to me, you can book it up to 3 months in advance, And I was like, but
sometimes they haven't got it. Luckily, we've got this MOT station here now.
Yeah,
right
I was there.
Next
They were
door,
really
aren't we?
sweet to me yesterday.
At the Polygono here in
I've got a
Tomboronea.
tip for you about ITVs. Go as early as possible in the day. God,
very
it's
good.
a
There's
pain.
no queues. Well, on that note, I've got a little tip for you.
All right.
And tip for our listeners. So, you are meant to carry ID. So, Vicky, you should know that. But you're either going to get the notarized copy or you're going to carry your TIE. But as a driver, you do also have a Spanish driving license, don't you?
I do. You did that
so
for
you've
me.
actually got ID. You can use that as ID. Now, in this case, you didn't have it on you. So there goes the tip. You need to download the app for the equivalent of the Spanish DVLA, which is the DGT. D for Delta, G for Golf, T for Tango. Okay? And that is the DVLA Spanish website. On there, they will ask you for some details. They'll ask for your ID, number, date of birth. If you've got a digital certificate or a clave, which is a way of identifying yourself online, it will ask for you to identify yourself that way. If not, it will ask you a series of information that if you have been registered either with a car or you've got your Spanish driving license, of course, because you need this only for your Spanish one. You can't do it on any other nationality because this is a Spanish app for Spanish driving licenses. If you put like your name, your date of birth, and they'll ask you another question. If your details are correct at Trafico, which is the DGT, then it will accept it, and on there you'll be able to see everything. You will see your driving license in digital format, front and back.
You see your fines.
You can see your fines.
I don't want to look.
You can see when your MOTs are due. Yeah? And for all cars, okay? Now, you will only see the fines that are relating to Trafico, to the DGT, because as you know, we can be fined by police, which could be council.
Yeah.
It could be the Ayuntament of Calvia, it could be Ayuntament of Palma, Ayuntament of Andratx, all the different councils, depending where you actually park and get a fine. And then obviously you've got the Trafico ones as well. Okay.
I think I've got a fine.
Have you? Well,
because
what we
my
can
car
do...
is old, It's a diesel Kangoo. It's an old girl. We worked out how far she's got to the moon yesterday.
Bless.
It's
Still going.
There's 380,000 kilometres to the moon, She's already done 280,000 kilometres.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
It's still going.
It's got a new motor, a new engine. It's
Last another 10
courtesy
years.
of my mother. Yeah. I drove into Palma, I think on like July 2nd or July 3rd or something.
After the new eco.
Yes, and I drove across the avenidas into Sindicato in my old car.
Which you're not allowed to drive with anymore.
No. So I think somewhere there'll be a fine for me for driving inside an eco zone because she's an old car and I shouldn't have done it.
Well, hopefully there was a bit of a grace period as from the 1st of July. I know that's when that new law came in. But fingers crossed, you probably.
It's funny, isn't it? It's like that's the hazy bit about Spain. I think there's no really clear line to me. There's always like wiggle room, is there not? And also like it's called the DGT, but it's also called Trafico. Everyone calls it an NIE, but it's actually this. It's like it's not clear.
I'll tell you why. DGT are the initials, so it's Dirección General de Tráfico.
Oh, okay.
And we just abbreviate it to say Trafico.
How do you say DGT in Spanish?
DGT.
DGT.
DGT. No, but that's what it stands for. And of course, it can be confusing. But one thing I am going to say, I've actually finally got onto actually posting on our social media about these type of reminders.
Yeah.
And on my website, we've updated the website. I'm actually trying to blog information, Vicky. You've been on my case for years.
For years.
And I've finally done it. I'm listening to you.
Good.
And on the website, I'm uploading blogs where it's useful information. So when the eco stickers came in, there's a blog about that, about council rates and taxes. I might actually do a little blog on this DGT app. What do you think?
You should, yeah, definitely.
So if you've got any ideas, obviously, send them over to me, because you're the one with the ideas on things that I could write about, or a lot
all
of
the
people
things
contact
I
you.
mess up on.
No, but a lot of people contact you as well, because you're in the know. Everybody knows you, Vicky, and it's like, oh, Vicky, what about this? Have you heard about this? You know, and you're writing, and there's always someone asking you. So if there's anything that you can think would be worth me putting out there for our residents that they can read up on. But yeah, they can see all of our blogs on the MallorcaSolutions.com website.
We can also just ask the listener. So if you have any questions for Becky, then shoot them over, because she's going to come back. Yep. I have actually got a couple more things to ask you, though, because we did mention previously, before we started recording, about the fact that a lot of people's cards, their TIE cards, are now expiring.
They are.
Because it's 5 years since 2020, which is when they had to have the card, is it not?
Yeah.
So how are they going to do that? And
that was the Brexit withdrawal, wasn't it? So, okay, so now the renewal process has started us from June. We had our first one, because can you believe it, that even us, that were in immigration a couple of times a week, they still didn't have the information up until 2 days before. We literally had to wait till the 1st of July to do the first applications. Luckily, between other companies, we actually stick together, and kind of inform each other, whoever's going first, to try and trial it out. But this is like the information sheet. There is no information sheet on the renewal. So what I have done is I've actually done a TIE renewal for the withdrawal Brexit agreement. So for all those clients that did get their TIE back in 2020, and it's now time to renew, they can have a look at all the information step by step on how to do it on our website, MallorcaSolutions.com. I've got itemised step by step.
Does everybody need to renew?
Everybody needs to renew.
So I need to renew.
You need to renew. So we need to have a look at your TIE card to see when it expires.
Why do I need to renew?
You need to renew, because even though you're permanent, you'll have a time frame on your card, and all you'll have to do is turn up, show your face, new photo, fingerprint. They just, they just
new
want
photo?
to make. Yeah.
Can we wait a couple of months?
Can we wait a couple of months? So the TIE is important to renew, of course, because you want to remain with your status.
Yes.
Plus, you're already permanent anyway, so it's just a question of just keeping that status and permanent status, because of the discounts as well for travel.
Yeah, because that's another thing, isn't it? Everyone thinks, when you live in Mallorca or the Balearic Islands, you get resident discounts, but that's not quite the clear-cut thing, is it?
No,
it's more.
You have to be permanent resident to get the discounts, which is a bit unfair, really.
I think so too.
But if you're a resident, but it is the way it is. So, it's important to have that permanent TIE status to be able to get the 75% discount on flights and ferries from and to Mallorca.
It's a lot.
You notice the difference, especially if you're booking last minute, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an advantage as well. You can go off and...
We're going to Barcelona in October and Madrid in November.
Very nice.
And it's like, because of the discounts that we can think, okay, nip over and do that thing that we want to do.
For sure. Yeah.
What was the other thing? Oh, yes, IBI. I have a little horror story to tell you. So there's actually, it's a longer horror story, but we'll just go with the basics, which is I realised I needed to show my IBI paid for to get a building licence for the house. And then yesterday I was thinking, hang on a minute, have we paid the IBI? Because it's just one of those random bits of paper that occasionally shows up in our postbox and then just gets put in the pile of stuff, because we didn't have a direct debit connected to our bank account to pay it. And IBI is like the council tax.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like council rates, isn't it? You have to pay it annually. So whether you're a resident or non-resident, if you have property in Spain, annually you have to pay your IBI, your council rates, but also your bins, your basuras.
Yes.
Which is the waste removal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And incineration.
Gigi was asking me this morning, because I got her to come with me to the little meeting that I decided I better have to check if I'd actually paid this or not. Because I thought I might need translation help here, because there are definitely words that I don't know in this conversation. Yep. And actually I managed it on my own. I didn't need her in the end, but she's like, what is it for? And I said, well, we're basically paying for the fiestas, this is paying for Andratx Council, this is paying for me to go to subsidised language lessons, this is paying for the roads, this is paying for the police, and she was like, oh, okay, it's not all free. And also, if you live in the UK, council tax is actually a lot more.
It is.
A lot more.
We pay annually. I think in the UK, do you not pay it quarterly?
I think, I don't know, but a while ago it was monthly. It was a lot. So anyway, I think it was a lot of money back in the day when we lived there. But as it was, we hadn't paid our IBI, and it was supposed to be paid last October, November. So we had €80 fine, actually, because it was paid late.
It's the interest on it, isn't it?
Yeah, they make you pay like a percentage of the amount plus the interest.
Initially it's 10% and then some interest, and then depending on how long it goes, it can go up to 20% plus interest.
Yeah, so...
The good thing about, at least what I advise is to set up a direct debit.
Well, that's what I've done.
That's what you've done.
So the next... And then she showed me, like, on the bit of paper, she said, it should come out on this date, and it was, like, middle of November. I was like, okay, that's okay. I can manage that. Thank you for telling me. It's just one of those things that's kind of slid past me.
While you're on that topic, I will actually say, for everybody that's listening, the actual IBI and basuras, so the council rates, aren't all paid in the same months. It goes by municipality.
Yeah.
So, for example, Calvia, the deadline is now 31st of August, and you pay them both. To be finished? Yeah, to be finished. So if you haven't paid them yet, you've got till the 31st of August to pay them within the voluntary period.
Before you get fined.
Yeah. Also, the council normally should send the payment slips to your home by post. A lot of people don't get them.
I don't know if we ever... that's what I'm saying. It's a bit random. We sometimes get them. We sometimes don't get them. And for a long time, even though we've lived in our house since 2007... they were sending them to our old house, like where we lived before, which we didn't own, and it's...
Maybe it's because an address somewhere is still registered or has your details as that, and that's why it's still going there.
Yeah, maybe, but...
But now with this, you can they either get sent by post, or you can contact the town hall department for the tax, for this tax, and they will give you a duplicate payment slip, which you can then pay at the bank. Or you can actually pay online as well.
Yeah.
Or you can direct debit it. And then that way they will direct debit it when the time's due at the voluntary period.
Yeah.
One thing to watch out as well, for example, Palma has March where you pay your road tax, for example, and your bins. And then October you pay your IBI. So it's not always the same.
But I like that. They split it up a bit. So
they split it up, yeah. Like Calvia in this case, it's everything. Road tax, IBI and basuras all at one. So it is a bit of a hurt your pocket. Yeah.
My final question is, what is the most kind of like sought after service for you guys at the moment? Would you say that you're getting a lot of new visa inquiries? Are people still trying to move here? Or are you just sorting out the mess that's a TIE card?
Obviously TIEs is the most seek service, at least from Brits, and especially now with TIE renewals, we're going to have a big boom on that because there was a lot of people obviously that we helped out initially. So now with the renewals, but also people that want to relocate, we actually help with visas as well. We don't do all of them. We actually can help with the non-lucrative visas, and then we've actually partnered up with Catherine Barnes from the Visa Desk Spain, and she helps with, for example, any other visas. So, for example, we got the digital nomad visa. That was a little bit more tricky.
Yeah.
So we were helping, but then we just, depending on what they needed, we passed that on. We worked together with Catherine on that one. And then you've got, I'm trying to think how, this is where my Spanglish comes in. So, for example, there's artists that come out, the performers, artists that perform or light, sound and music.
Yeah, the crew.
Yeah, so all these licenses, there's also a special license or visa for them to be able to come out and work the season. They've kind of adapted that a little bit as well. But yeah, anybody, for example, also married to an EU citizen, we can also help. But normally what I say, drop us a line. If we can't do it, we do team up with professionals that we can point in the right direction.
Somebody who can.
If it's not that we don't, that we don't do it. We kind of cover a lot.
Okay.
Especially whilst you're on the ground and living here,
You've got some events coming up, haven't you?
We have.
In your space.
Yes.
Which has become a bit of a swishy co-working space now. I've seen some
pictures. It's very
pictures.
nice, the co-working space.
Yes.
We've still got 3 spaces available.
Oh, really?
Yes, if anybody doesn't want to work from home. We've kind of finally adapted it. We did a little bit of building as well to create another conference room. We now got a booth, a phone booth.
I've seen the pictures. It looks really
It's
good.
quite nice. Obviously, it's a booth, but its acoustics are amazing in there, and at least you can kind of, get away and have a call.
It's a bit eggy, isn't it? If you're in a big shared office and you're having a conversation,
Yeah.
you can't necessarily always say what you want to say.
Exactly.
But
yeah, no, so the co-working's still going, so let us know if anybody's out there that wants a space. We'd love to fill it. And what we've started doing is a little bit about, like I was saying, you've always kind of said to me, Becky, get the word out there, speak. A lot of people still don't know about you, and those that do may want information. They don't realise we're also insurance brokers.
Yeah.
So we also do the insurance, and I just thought, let's do a few like coffee mornings where people can come along, have coffee, tea, cake. You know me, I've got sweet stuff.
Coffee. Yeah. And don't talk to me about the sweet stuff.
I know. I've got a sweet tooth, haven't I? But yeah, just an informal chat, just to speak. So the 3 topics that I came up with initially, the first one's on the 23rd of September. We're actually going to be talking about planning. It's like family protection, i.e., I know it's a little bit morbid to talk about, but everybody leaves it to the side. And when things happen, we've lost our, you lost your dad.
We've both lost parents.
Yes, and and it's one of them that you don't know what to do, and then when it hits you, it's like, oh my God, I didn't know that I had to have this in place. So making sure you've got your will in place, maybe a funeral protection plan, knowing who to call when it does happen, what to do. So we are going to be talking about that on the 23rd.
Maybe we could talk about that, and actually cover that in a standalone episode, because there's a lot to go through. Like the culture and practices here in Mallorca are very different to the way that a funeral or a death is handled in the UK, and it's a lot quicker.
Very quick. Like within 3 days, it's done and dusted, isn't it? Which is a bit like
fast.
But in a way, I suppose it just, there's no point in prolonging that grief. Really, obviously the grief stays, doesn't it? But just having to plan and think, and
it's very much off the blocks. Get on with it. So
totally.
I think it's good to know, because it was quite a shock when it happened to us, how quickly. The turnaround is from death to funeral. It's very rapid.
So that's happening on the 23rd, and then we've got another 2 date to be confirmed based on people registering and their interest. So we're going to be talking about tax. We get asked a lot about tax, just tax advice for residents as well as for those that want to relocate but want to make sure they know the tax situation based on their income. So we'll be doing that one. And then the other one is for people that want to set up a business, whether they don't know if to be self-employed or set up a limited company. We'll be talking about, starting from zero and why you should do one or when should you do the other, and just giving advice on how to do it. And if they want our help, obviously that's what we do. With everything that we're talking about, we can help with the actual services, but it's also to just do a little bit of networking and open talks.
Very vital stuff as well, important things. And if you make mistakes with any of those things, it costs a lot.
Yes, it does. It's important to register correctly.
We've had so many situations with hair stores in particular that they've made mistakes, or they tell you things like too late, and you aren't prepared for a big tax bill that you didn't realise was going to come and wipe you out. So, taxes in particular is something that a lot of people have got to be very aware of.
Yeah.
Not to say that you shouldn't move here and make a life here. It's just to
be honest, I think you just need to know the ins and outs of how things work, get organised, set it up correctly from the start, and be in the know. After that, we're so lucky to live on this beautiful island. It's such a safe environment.
Yeah.
We've got wonderful weather. Very hot at the minute, isn't it?
It's a bit too hot.
Yeah. But just the lifestyle. We're so lucky. But it is true that when it comes to paperwork, the more I do this every year, I realise why they do certain things. It's to have things done properly, and to set up in the right format, the way you want to move forward, really, doesn't it? And they are going digital on a lot of things, which it's making it much easier. But there's still a lot of bureaucracy, and I think the language is also a big part of that uncertainty. when you go out and do the paperwork, you know.
Going back to the IBI bill that I told you about, I could have looked online to figure out if I owed that money, but I'm going to tell you that I don't know how to make my digital clave thing work, and the website is impossible to navigate. So it can be as digital as it likes. I still need a person. I still need to talk.
We need to get your digital certificate. That's what we need to do.
And I have got one. I just don't know how to use it.
Oh, well, I'll have to show you then. I do think digital certificates are easier than the clave, because the clave you've got to kind of authenticate. It gives you a password, which then you've got to go into that app and go back. But yeah, they're both.
Oh, they do different things?
Yes.
I've got both.
Have you?
I didn't know they were.
No, I'll show you how to use that, because that's really, really easy.
Well, there's lots of episodes of Becky helping Vicki with stuff to come.
So, but maybe that's something we can talk about as well, is the digital certificate and the clave on some next episodes.
So will you come back in a few weeks' time, and maybe after you've done your family planning? Is it family protection? Family planning, that whole other thing, isn't it? That's
family
the other
protection
end of
plan,
life.
on the 23rd of September, yes.
And how will people register to come to see that?
So on our social media, we've put a Google form out where people can register their interest into any of the actual coffee mornings. There's a couple there. And then we'll get in touch to confirm everything and confirm the spot. If not, if you're unsure, just drop us an email at admin@mallorcasolutions.com.
And it's Mallorca with a double L.
Yes, double L, not Majorca.
Mallorca.
Mallorca.
Mallorca Solutions. Thank you very much, Becky.
Thank you so
much for coming in. And,
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Love seeing you.
Look at your smiley face.
I do, because I'm happy when I'm here.
Highly recommend you guys, if you need any support with admin, any support, or just a nice cup of coffee and a chat.
Yes,
we're there. The team at Mallorca Solutions can really help you.
Yeah, definitely there to help. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for listening. Listen, we need your help. If you don't mind, would you please subscribe wherever you got this podcast? You can find it in most places, Spotify, iTunes, all the rest of them. Just click subscribe, and if you get a chance to leave us a review and you'd like to leave us a good one, we won't stand in your way. And something for you. If you'd like to get our monthly newsletter, then visit our website. That's Mallorca-Mallorca.es. That's Mallorca with a J, -Mallorca-ES. And follow the link there. And if you'd like to ask us a question, send us a DM to our Facebook or Instagram channels. And wherever you get your podcasts, if you see the show notes, you'll see the links for everything you need. Thanks for listening. See you next time.